Hi, this is Maya Maida, and you're listening to the Food Solidarity Podcast. Conversations with people around the world who are using the power of food to create local change. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Food Solidarity Podcast. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Rafa Rincon. Rafa is the founder of Gastronomia Social and one of the very first members of the social gastronomy movement. Fundacion Gastronomia Social was born in 2019 with the purpose of engaging and enlisting actors in the food system to collaborate in social change. They work with promoting social inclusion, food security, comprehensive culinary training, environmental care, promotion of culture, and the caring for the health and well-being of both society and planet. So, to welcome you here, Rafa, I want you to tell us a little bit more about your relationship with food and where it started.
Well, I could say that I was born in a kitchen, actually, because my parents, they were running a restaurant when I was almost 3 years old. They started with the first restaurant there called Buen Provecho. And so my destiny was drawn at that moment. My first remember is cleaning anchovies, sitting close to my mother, observing and watching my mother, how she was sweating and shouting and cooking, but with a smile in the face. And I can remember all the flavors. I can remember the texture of the anchovies. I can remember my hands, how were like dry and wet as well. And gastronomy is my life. I mean, it's the place where I feel comfortable, the place where I feel free, the place where I can connect with everyone. I consider that it's an international language, and from that moment, I decided. Not when I was 3 years old. I decided to be at the service of gastronomy when everything. I mean, when I decide to do anything, I put anything that can involve relationships or a job or studies or whatever. I decided when I was around 14, 15 years old that gastronomy was my way. My parents, they had 5 restaurants in Madrid. They brought slow food to Spain. So at that time, it was around 1888. Sorry, 1988. I was I was confident with slow food. So social gastronomy came to my life. The importance of the conscience around food, around food sovereignty, food security, around the the connections and the engagement through the good buen alimento, how we said in Spain, the good food to everyone. And I just fell in love. So as I told you, Maya, I decided to, to get married with social gastronomy, and then things just happened. I moved to London when I was 19 years old. I worked for Nobu restaurants for almost 2 years in London. And then I came back to Spain. I work in Mallorca, in Palma de Mallorca, in Barcelona, in Madrid. And then I decided with Claudia, my wife, she's from Chile, she's Chilean. We decided to move to Chile and create our life here in gastronomies all around. I ran the Fundacion, a food festival called Ñam. We create, as soon as we got to Chile, an important distribution company focusing organic food and small producers products. So everything around me is gastronomy.
Amazing. I also went into gastronomy very young, at around 14 years old as well. It's when I started hostessing and fell in love with
Well,
with restaurants.
I work in all the places. I work as a sous chef, as a chef, at the dishwashing area as well, for sure. As a commis waiter, as a waiter, as a maitre, as a manager, um, other places all around the restaurant. To me, the restaurant is my playground. But you know, when we arrived to Chile, Claudia made me make a promise that was not opening a restaurant. I could do whatever I want to, but not opening a restaurant. So uh, I was a good student, I might say, and say, okay, not a restaurant, but the rest, I think I'm happy. And I understand Claudia, because restaurant life, when you decide to create a family or to become a parent, it's so extremely hard. So it was a nice point. Even Claudia, she's engaged to gastronomy. She studied hotel management, and the family is also engaged to gastronomy, but we decide that. So that's why I guess I could develop so many lanes, so many ideas, so many projects and initiatives around the gastronomy and social gastronomy. That's the thing. To me, it's the true gastronomy, no? The, the, the social gastronomy. Yeah. You know what? As we do a food festival that involves around 50 different restaurants, and Comida para Todos that now is working with 23 restaurants. That gap, it's filled in my life. I mean, I feel like I don't run a restaurant, but I work with them. I'm there. I'm close to them. I'm close to the reality. So that point of view, that place, to me, it's also amazing, because I can help without suffering, the risk, or suffering the restaurant issues that usually they have, no?
Absolutely. Can you talk a little bit about the specific issues and challenges that the restaurant industry in Chile has been facing during 2020?
Well, first I think the model is, to me, it's quite bizarre. It's quite strange, because when you open a restaurant, you should take care of many important things, many human aspects, as, I don't know, the supply chain, like ethical supply chain, working with local producers, designing good food for people, uh, treating your human resources also in an ethical way, and managing all the lights that you have to run, to pilot this platform that is a restaurant, that many people, they don't do it. They just open a restaurant as a crazy thing, as they think that the business model is correct, and it's gonna be like successful, without uh, having these 3 points, to me, that are very absolutely crucial and important. So at the end of the day, I see that many of the restaurants are quite empty. Um, and this is an awful problem, because now, when facing the crisis, they don't get the tools to transform, to move forward, when understanding that if I treat my team properly, if I treat my providers or my supply chain properly, if I treat the community around me properly, they are gonna help me, because I was there for them. And we see now that they are alone, and it's so extremely sad. So first, to summarize, sorry about I was like just, but because it's so painful. Yeah, but to summarize, I would say that the model must be absolutely transformed, the business model. Um, we we have been running a model for like, I guess, 4 decades, and it's absolutely obsolete. It's like, to me, it's over. Now the customers are gonna ask for something different because this pandemic opened many eyes, and here we have the first challenge. How can I design a new model that is going to involve in a ethical way all the three things that I told you: the providers, the supply chain, my team, and the community that sits around me. Then we saw also that they were so like, like without flexibility, because it's quite strange that that no one thought about like delivery or takeaway business models lanes, and they got now to to do an extremely effort to get into the takeaway and the delivery, that there should be something that is part of the business model, no? So it's not holistic, it's just very, I don't know, it's to me it's showing that the business model was very basic. So they got also, we need, let's say like this, we need to develop innovation. We need to develop new platforms that are going to help us to to keep the restaurants alive. I put you here one question. For instance, now with the pandemic, why the restaurants, I spoke with this about this with many people here, why the restaurants, they don't they didn't offer the kitchens to the community, and not just because of the food insecurity. Imagine you are your restaurant is placed in a close to a block, yeah, and why didn't you uh, uh, came to them and said, hey, I can run your daily meals, you can be my new my new customers, i can I can be here to help you in a domestic way, and I could take care of all the lunches for all the block. For instance, like opening the vision, because I was so extremely tiny, and I could spend hours and hours here because I see this. I saw when my parents they had the restaurant. The same restaurant was a shop, a slow food shop. Was a tasting. I mean, like a tasting and seminarium place. Sorry, when the restaurant was closed, it was open to the community to do these wine tastings or whatever tastings, and also seminariums and talks for the community from the gastronomy point of view. But also it was a bar, was a restaurant, was a bistro, was like an holistic, was open from Monday to Sunday. The team was absolutely involved, was very well paid. So at the end of the day, you can run many things when doing a restaurant, not just the old way of doing a restaurant that is I go for people come to my dining room and I serve them, no? So the momentum is to me it's fantastic, because it pushes us to create a new era, to create a new uh, way to keep going, and I love it. I know that it's so depressed and sad and stressful, and but at the same time I believe that after this pain the light is gonna arrive and things are gonna be better.
And since their inception, in a way, restaurants have hosted this rebirth, this renaissance that you're alluding to. And I agree, it will come after this time of darkness. And I'm just wondering, how do you see restaurants, the role of restaurants today in being that sort of revolutionary, very political space for change?
Well, in Chile, I believe the first point that they must urgently create like a movement, something like an NGO organization that is gonna include thousands of restaurants, um, and a strong one, and based on the ecosystem. No, because because one of the problems that I see also now when speaking with you is that everyone was focused on the ego. I am the best. I'm not speaking with my competence. I'm here. I'm close. I'm like this. So first, a strong platform that should include the academy, restaurants and the academy, and all together they should create the dialogue, the conversation with ministries and with the government and with the state. And because if every single restaurant here in Chile or in the world makes the decision of getting involved socially, um, things are gonna change extremely fast. They can educate the community. They can serve, obviously, good food. They can give opportunities to the innovation, as you said. They can give opportunities to the um, small producers. They can give opportunities to a lot of amazing things that we don't want to see, because we used to think and believe that the restaurant was the restaurant and that's all. But as we spoke at the moment, every single restaurant could be a hub, an amazing social hub for the community. So first, Maya, a strong platform that includes the academy to create the conversation, to speak about the conversation, because all the restaurants should speak about food insecurity, about hunger, about the health, about education. How many SDGs will a restaurant develop? The number one, the number two, the number three, the number four, the number five, six, the seven, almost all the SDGs are around a restaurant. So they must play as a main actor, and not just like no, we are just inside the touristic, uh, the economy point of view. No. It's much more than this. So if they want to be, if they want to be invited to the table, they have to show this attitude of ecosystem, of community, of restaurants that push the conversation through the most important things in life to me, which is food security, sorry. So at the end of the day, they have just to do the step. They have to move forward and decide to to get unity in a gentle way, with humble. I mean, like saying, I don't give a shit about my success. I take care about the rest, with all the things that we can provoke. So here in Chile, we are pushing this. I think that is one of the things that the foundation is going to push, how another restaurants can be placed here, because if another pandemic arrives, we have we should learn properly. So if another pandemic arrives, another disaster, what is gonna be the role? Because now the restaurants are the victims in other countries. Oh, poor restaurant, they're closed. But no. I need the role. We are all depressed. We are all under crisis, all of us. So, eso, unión.
Yeah, absolutely. And that ties into two of my questions, actually. And the first one is, um, what do you think is so important about having restaurants connect globally in a movement, for example, like the social gastronomy movement, while acting profoundly locally? What can they benefit from that connection?
I mean, it's absolutely light. This is light to me. It's like, how can I learn from other experience? How can the good practices can arrive to me? How can I share my dreams? How can I share my goodwill? And it's about being connected. It's about like I don't know why they didn't start it. I don't know why the system wasn't there to do this, but it's the new way of doing things. To me, it's the transformation. The evolution is there. It's like, how can I get connect with all the community that shares my spirit, my vision, my mission, and get profit, achieve, and act locally. It's so important. The worldwide knowledge. Uh, it's there. It's there. We just need to use it. It's there, and it's gonna be there. And I'm sad when saying that the restaurant they didn't decide. I'm not speaking about fine dining, because so many times the fine dining is like the muse. No, 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 no. I'm speaking about a bistro, a bar, something like this. Like saying, what I feel alone, it's so bizarre, right? It's so paradox, because you know how many restaurants and bars are in Santiago? 5,000. 5,000 restaurants. So at the end of the day, it's a small city, and they feel alone, and there are 5,000. It's it's a paradoja, as we said in Spain. So yes, to me, I agree with you. To me, it's so important to achieve, to learn from the worldwide wise knowledge and act. We have to act. We must act. Uh, Achieving without acting is not working. So yes, I see it like this.
And as you were mentioning before, Rafa, about like the air of competition that exists in cities or different places with between restaurants, what is it that you're doing with, for example, Comida para Todos, that changes that relationship between restaurant owners to be collaborative and working together and growing together?
It's gonna be still a barrier, but I think I have already seen things here that are giving me so much happiness. Well, we are running Comida para Todos. Comida para Todos is a response of that. How can we create a platform to collaborate, to get connect, collaborate, and act within more than 20 restaurants just in Chile? But I think many of them, they learned the lesson. They saw the point, and they're gonna decide to move forward in order to get this new way of doing things. And also Aristotle said that the human being must be social to survive. I do the comparison. The gastronomy must be social to survive, and we have saw this right now. Gastronomy wasn't social. That's why it's not surviving. That's why anyone doesn't care about the restaurants, because they weren't social. They don't give a shit about the community. They don't give a shit about the environment. They don't give a shit about the planet. And they just were like looking for a model, a capitalist successfully model, like um, getting the more profit possible and spending the less. So at the end of the day, it's, what do you want, man? And I saw the image, like gastronomy could be an amazing, uh, brilliant, and extremely beautiful uh, animal, like an elephant or like a dolphin, but now it's a predator. It's, like it's everything is about predation. So if you want salmon, you're in Antofagasta, in the north of Chile, and you want salmon, because I guess that the salmon, I'm gonna sell the salmon very expensive. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I just buy the salmon. The salmon is coming from almost 3,000 kilometers by the south. I don't care. I use tomato the whole year. I don't care, you know? So as Aristotle said that, and I saw that we must be social to survive. Gastronomy must be social to survive. And being social is not just like acting when the crisis arrives. It's one of the points of being social. Being social is being conscious about consciousness, about like how can I be part of the circle, not be the main the center point of the circle. No, 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 come on. There's many things going around, and the restaurant could develop them. So Maya, I think that many people saw that. Many people saw that we need to transform the model, and they're deciding that. And here in Comida para Todos, we are proving that they can share the providers, they can share the info, the good practices. They can create a social platform. They can convoke. They can invite their community, you know, the guest community to help. They can do many things that they didn't do it before. They were like fellas, but that's all. But they saw each other like competence, and I, I'm not sharing with you why. Share, man. It's there. If you share, things are gonna come back. It's karma.
Yep. And the same kind of one physical space, I guess, which is like the epitome of that collaboration, is like a food festival, like the Nam Food Festival. Can you tell us, the listeners, a little bit more about that, and how that ties into your overall mission and vision?
To me, celebration is absolutely necessary. If you celebrate, and if you do it like pure, like from the heart, uh, education is going to appear, connection is going to appear, collaboration is going to appear. So the cross-sector collaboration model is going to appear. So 10 years ago, we decided to impulse, to provoke this in Chile that was so closed. They were like looking to Argentina, to Peru. They were jealous. They were like complex, full of complex. So we decided to do something to, again, to show to the community that gastronomy, when gets the social vote, or you know, uh, it's amazing and it's beautiful, and it's easy to understand why gastronomy is important. So at the end of the day, at the festival, we decide to to connect, to engage. It's like the foundation, or the move to engage everyone around gastronomy, to collaborate once a year to celebrate the best food and the best things around food in Chile and in Latin America, where chefs are placed, where students are placed, where the academy is placed as well, where the public institutions are placed. Last Nyam, I mean, this year is not possible to celebrate Nyam, as you guess, but last year in 2019, there were 6 different ministries attending Nyam: education, culture, agriculture, fishing, economy. Um, so at the end of the day, it's a celebration that wants to reflect the social aspect of gastronomy. So you can find a seminarium, you can find a congress, you can find an amazing farmers market, you can find a lot of entertainment for everyone in the community, for the children, for the elder people. You can also absolutely eat. There are restaurants, but there are also, like, I don't know how to say it in English, cocinerias. These are the, like, you know, the popular restaurants, or social restaurant that came from the community. It's a whole week that is dedicated to celebrate social gastronomy. And the response of the community was amazing, and we are so glad and so proud. We are now having a strong and so critical moment, but everyone is doing so. We are sure that as soon as the vacuum or the COVID it's pass over, Yam is coming back with a lot of light and power. But again, if you want, if you decide to dedicate to gastronomy, do it social, because if you do it social at the beginning, it's gonna be a bit confusing for the, for the audience. What is social gastronomy? But if you if you show consistency and decide to create it from the echo, um, the end of the race is gonna be amazing. So I think Yam also is an example of how can we design a platform from collaboration, connection, collaboration, and partnership, as the movement declares.
Thank you so much, Rafa, and sign me up for the next Yam. I'll be there. For now, I actually wanted to introduce Alejandra, who is a comms extraordinaire here at the Social Gastronomy Movement, to ask you a few questions that I know have been on her mind.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about, I loved what you said when you mentioned that the efforts that restaurants need to make in order to open up their vision and overcome obsolete models. Would you agree that that's a matter of education as well? Because, I mean, not only for current restaurant owners or chefs and staff, but take culinary students, for example, like they study, but maybe sometimes it becomes a thing of just cooking food, but really a cook's role is nourishing others, right? And of course, transforming ingredients is the technical aspect of it, totally, but they're giving us energy and nourishment and life itself, by cooking. So maybe if future chefs thought about this before putting their ego or ambition first, we could witness a beautiful change in the industry, and us as customers as well would learn from that experience too and make it very clear
Yeah,
that it's a
absolutely,
political act.
absolutely, absolutely. It's about education, because uh, you have, usually you have two kind of people that is opening a restaurant. Usually, first a cook that wants uh, to 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 create a business model that is going to give him success and is going to help him to develop the creativity and all the dreams that he had to. But in the most of the universities of the schools that are teaching gastronomy, they're absolutely mechanical, like about technique, not just technique. So they are like creating robots, and it's a pity. And the other kind of people that could open a restaurant, they are the, these entrepreneurs that they have this model that says that um, you're going to open a restaurant and you're going to charge to all the guests, and from the 100%, the 25% is going to human resources, the 30% is going to food and beverage, the 12% is going to the rent, and again, it's mechanical. And we must understand that this is about humanity. You know what a restaurant is called? A restaurant? Boulanger at the 19th century. Boulanger was the first person in the world that put the word restaurant, because you should it's not just about eating in a physical way, it's about soul as well. So you have the body and the soul. What about the soul? What about all the restaurants that are just, this is, it's very spiritual, the thing I'm telling you, but they are called restaurants because they're supposed to fit the two things, the body and the spirit, and no one cares about the spirit. So it's about education. We have to transform the universities, the schools. We have to transform it, because they don't see the point and they don't get the tools. So that's why the rest of the academy should put also the discussion in how gastronomy now is impacting the world. the reality of thousands of people here in Chile. You know that it's the biggest um industry in the world, gastronomy. If you unit the the agriculture, the fishing, the productive sector with the third sector, with the service, is the biggest, and it's absolutely empty of sense. It's absolutely empty of, you know, like there's no philosophy in gastronomy. There's no in a restaurant. There's no philosophy. There's not like this software, this you know, like fine tuning of saying, hello man, I'm here, I'm just I'm consuming natural resources, I'm impacting all the neighborhoods, I'm impacting so where is my commitment? What I'm doing here? No, I'm charging, I want to earn money. 5 years. Yeah? And also they tell you a restaurant, just 5 years. After 5 years, it's like decreasing. It's so strange. And constantly, it's so many thousands of restaurants are opening. No, I think not now, thanks God. But it's so strange. It's, to me, it's like I can, it's giving me so much like anger as well. I said, the thousands of opportunities that they could do, and now they are facing this moment because I'm not judging them. I'm just saying that the system was inviting them to be like this. So I'm absolutely agree that education is maybe the starting point of this. How can we create social activists? All the chefs, all the cooks around the world, they should be social activists. They should care about environment. They should care about social policies. Sorry, they should care about not just how can create a foam and a spectacular, confit, that confit, or no. It's more like this. It's like saying commitment, man. Change. The world is changing, so change yourself as well.
Thank you, Rafa. That was incredible. Yeah, I agree. I agree totally.
I think whether you're a customer or somebody who works very intimately within the restaurant industry, a restaurant, a space like that can really reinvigorate people and passion, not only for food, but for the people who come in every day and where the restaurant is.
Maya, it's about restoring. It's about restoring souls. You know, I had last Saturday. I had a conversation with one of my best friends. He's living in San Sebastian in Donostia, and as the restaurant industry in the Basque country decide to be a social activist, the most of them, you know, if we get the the 100% of the production of Basque country, they just export the 10% of their production of the fish, the meat, the vegetables. The rest, the 90%, is for the Basque, is for the community. They cultivate this. So when crisis appears in San Sebastián, in Guipúzcoa, Bilbao, Vitoria, wherever in the Basque country, the community, they decide to help the restaurants. They decide to even give loans to restaurants, like, you know, private loans to restaurants. They decide to buy the daily lunches to the restaurants. They are there to help them because they are part of them. You know, so here we have an image, an amazing image, how the Basque, they did it. It's not about tourism. It's not about this. It's about how a restaurant can get the most amazing things from her to share it with the community, so if you go to San Sebastian, or I don't know if you know San Sebastian, but my grandmother is from San Sebastian. Um, when you came in a restaurant, something is different. It's about restoring souls. It's about, and all the Basque cooks, they don't have to go to the school. They just know how they just need to know that the amazing things they have around, the amazing producers they have around, the amazing chance of cooking for the community, and being the doing the transmission of all this goodwill, of all this amazing thing. It's not about getting money. They don't give a shit about richness, of being successful. No, no, no. They want to just, I want my neighbors, I want them, I love them, I want the best for them, so I'm gonna cook for them, you know? And this is the thing. So, and here also in Chile, the restaurant that they was they had the commitment with the community, they were helped by the community. So it's a so electric conversation, this one.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, and they don't see the end of the tunnel, because here, I don't know in Brazil, but or Colombia, I think Colombia and Chile are very similar. I don't know Brazil, but they are so all the sectors are gonna be reactivated, but not the restaurants. The restaurants are the los últimos de la fila. They are there. Like, we see the reactivation should be around 6, 7, 8 months, and they are like this, like tied up. So we need to transform this. We need to hack the system. We need to we need to break the system to reborn, because otherwise we are lost, or they're lost, or the sector is lost. It's so difficult. And you know the industry, you know the all the cloud kitchens or dark kitchens industry with Rappi and all these delivery companies are like now. And we also need to educate the guest, the customers, because, you know, as Ale said, education is here the point. So wow, many things to do. Good times for the movement.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done, and that is for sure. So the foundation was also one of the recipients of the Food Solidarity Fund, an initiative designed to celebrate and support organizations like yours that are on the ground making these connections and working towards food security. What I was wondering is what that phrase, food solidarity, means to you.
In one phrase, the most important thing in the world, in life, is the beginning of everything. So I would say I would say food security, but we can say also food solidarity is the most important thing. If a community is if the community eats well, but like with good food, like ethical food, the rest is gonna be easier. And let me just tell you how Comunidad para Todos was born. When the third week of March, we, as a movement, decided to connect the whole community to create safe spaces to just to explode or share or cry or whatever, because the situation was crazy. In March was absolutely crazy. We said, if we are declaring that connection, collaboration, and partnership is our mantra, let's just do it. So we decided to create a webinar called Food Security Roundtable, Virtual Roundtable, and I decided to invite 7 organizations from Chile that I love them, I respect them, admire them, but they didn't work together. They never worked together. So they were invited to the virtual roundtable, and they were delighted how the connection was, how this feeling, this energy of speaking with people all around the world. And after that call, I called them and said, hey guys, let's just play. But because I consider that play is very important. Playing is very important. That feeling of playing, of, you know, like enjoying, concentration, happiness, you know, creativity, innovation, like playing. And what if we engage together and we activate the seven of the organization, four of the seven organizations, they were restaurants. So, and we open your kitchens, and we create a circular system with four different beneficiaries. The community that is now running with food insecurity, your restaurant, your team, your provider, your local producers, and the school drivers. Because the school drivers, they were like, and they saw it and said, let's do it. So this was the second week of April, and we decided to create it as, we call it the Fire Guardians, los Guardianes del Fuego. We decided to do it with, by the letting go process, because how in the old way we should do. Rafa Rincon, Fundación Gastronomia Social is like managing the thing, and no. Here we put at the center the purpose, you know, we are surrounding it, and we declare our limits, and just we start to get concentrate on that, on how can we all together take care of the fire of the purpose. So this is very philosophical, but anyway, we create the pilot, we pack it, we share it with the community. There were 450 lunches one day, and in 3 weeks, we collect almost 100,000 lunches from donations in 3 weeks time. So it was amazing because, again, never ever, at least for the last 15 years, that is the time that I was living here in Chile, never ever I saw the gastronomic community united by this kind of purpose, this kind of strong, real, and absolutely transparent purpose. Like said, okay, I'm a restaurant, there's people that is having food insecurity, let's do it. Let's just do it. And so at the end of the day, we saw that the connection, the collaboration, and the partnership is absolutely, it's absolutely necessary. And when speaking about solidarity food, solidarity food or food security, it's absolutely clear to us that there was the thing that we missed, the CCP, as we said in the movement. No, let's just get connect, let's collaborate, and let's act. And it's easy to do it. Nor like, oh no, let's do it. Let's just, we are all agree, yeah, we are all connect, yeah, boom. And now it's we are going to Peru. We are going to be placed in Peru, in Argentina, in Ecuador, in Spain. So something happened. We just, I don't know, I would say magic happened. And again, why magic happened? Because community saw us as a circle, as an ecosystem, not as like Rafa Rincon idea, you know? So it's everyone's now. And we are now 36 organizations. We collected resources to cook 160,000 lunches for months, and the thing is going on. We are going to create our first school, because as Ale said, education here is absolutely crucial. So the thing, as we saw at these social dining rooms, ollas comunes, they're called here in Chile, the potential, you know, like the fire, the electricity, the passion about food. And they was just volunteers. They are just giving help to the community. The same community is helping the community. But we said, what if we employ the power of the network to co-create with them this sort of food security hubs that I want to call it. We call it escuelas de seguridad alimentaria, but there are gonna be food security hubs. We are creating an amazing urban farm of 150 square meters. We are creating workshops of essential cooking. We are doing an entrepreneurship center as well to incubate the power of community. So, and just 4 months, Maya and Ale, and it's amazing. It's like saying, here is now is the moment. So that's why we consider that what happened with the fund, what happened with the movement was the, you know, the push, the first impulse of saying, okay, hey guys, come on, action, action, action.
Beautiful story of CCP, the magic recipe in action. Imagine the world in 2030, assuming that we have accomplished all of the sustainable development goals. We've eliminated malnutrition, poverty, and accomplished every single one, all of the SDGs. In your head, what does the food system look like? And what was your role, or the role of Comida para Todos, or your, you know, in contributing to that ideal future?
Let me just say a funny thing. If that happens, Comida para Todos is gonna disappear. We'll say, okay, we're ready, holidays. Boom, done. Now, I see, well, let me just split it. First, Comida para Todos. Comida para Todos should be the platform, one of the platforms that are going to include academy, the restaurants, the chef, the entrepreneurs, the communities, the governments. It's going to be like, you know, when, if you think about food security, you're going to pass through Comida para Todos. We have to be there. We must be there. We must connect. We are connecting. We are connecting. So I guess that Comida para Todos should be that platform that it's dedicated to connect everyone around ethics and food. It's just that. It's not more like this. It's a connection platform, and it's fostering all the things that we done to achieve all the SDGs, as you said. So, and it's gonna be an open source. It's gonna be a friendly platform. It's gonna be something very, very human, and we are gonna be one of the main players in the world speaking about this, saying like, if you don't understand that food should care about human, you don't understand anything. So about Comida para Todos, I will say that. About the food system, language is gonna be like a language, not like a system. A language. It's like be like natural. It's gonna be like splendid. It's gonna be like. I see like this. I see like I see communities full of urban farms. I see like at the schools you learn about food security, about food culture. At the university, all the careers all around the world, they care about food systems, so they promote, they present solutions constantly, evaluating solutions. I see it more like a language. I don't know. It's very bizarre, complicated to explain it now. Maybe I need a glass of wine to do it properly, but. I see like something like it used to be, you know, like something coming from, going back to the roots, like saying, okay, it shouldn't be a matter. It shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be the SDG number 2 shouldn't, you know, the next generation should say, seriously, you had hunger problems. Seriously.
Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in and speaking the language of food with us. If you want to learn more about Fundacion Gastronomia Social, Comida para Todos, or the social gastronomy movement, visit www.socialgastronomy.org. Thanks!